or seeing the opportunities that real estate gives you as an area grows in population. It's limitless. So, having gone from through that process, we went into, my dad started building and developing, starting with our own farm, Centerville, a place called Smoot Farm Estates. My father, after he managed Davis County for about 12 years, he was nominated and elected to be the national president of basically the trade organization for all the county officials in America. So he was the national NACO president for a couple of years, and he was able to travel all over the country. And what gave this little farm boy the experience that he needed to do to go out and do master plan communities and things like that is that he saw the growth in Davis County, and then he went out and he was able to travel from coast to coast looking at good development, looking at bad development, looking at the opportunities that development can create. And to tell you the truth, it's a business that very few people understand. Very few people understand how to do it well. We started with our own developments in Centerville, and then branched out from there to a lot of Davis County. And now we've consulted over the last 40 years on projects all over the western United States. So it's something where our family has been very blessed. Like I said, I've got 4 older brothers. None of us are in farming anymore. All of us run 4 different real estate companies. Now, I do residential. I'm the one that took over my father's company, Smoot Real Estate and Development. But my 4 older brothers all run 4 different commercial, mainly commercial development companies, real estate companies. A lot of unique opportunities in real estate, and especially in development. When we talk about the zoning process, when we talk about rezoning, and having a property taking advantage of a piece of property and taking it to its highest and best value, there's very few other industries that have this much potential. Your potential is limitless. It's a great investment. It's a great investment not only now, but in the future. It's great security because they're not making any more of it. We happen to live in a state that grows leaps and bounds every year, not only by in-migration, but by our birth rate. Your investment is more safe, probably in northern Utah, than, in a lot of other places, 95% of the other places in the country. Because we have this built-in growth that makes your investment more secure. When we talk about the potential of real estate, we talk about zoning, we talk about different possibilities. This shows a few different types of development. Now, some of this is huge. If we kind of sectioned off all of the possible land in Utah, okay, some of them are going to be, look like the Grand America or airports or our different mining operations. The most simple things that we can do that you're most familiar with are homes, vacant lots, things like that. Every single city has a master plan. And in every one of those cities, there is property currently zoned not to its highest potential. There's properties right now that people are just sitting on that when a city changes or updates their master plan, it creates a huge windfall, not huge, but a decent windfall for anybody that develops that property, that gets that, goes in and just updates the zoning. And so if a family comes in right now in the city of North Salt Lake, between Eagle Ridge Drive, right at the very south end, and 2600 South, where Kmart used to be, they're rezoning the whole Highway 89 corridor. They're doing that right now in the city of North Salt Lake. You may be thinking, well, what does that have to do with me? Over the next 4 to 5 years, the properties will change and be able to become more valuable. Real estate will become more valuable along that corridor because they're changing the zoning. And you don't have to hire an attorney to go in and get the zoning changed. They're already doing it. Does that make sense? So if you guys have, in your home neighborhoods or whatever city you want to work in, if you go in there and you go in and meet with the city planner and get a copy, you got to become pretty intimate with the zoning maps. And actually, you can go in and ask them, what does your city need? And let them tell you what their city needs. Every one of them that's their job. And so you can actually go in and look at the zoning map and come in and you can go identify properties right now that are not their highest and best use, that are already zoned, the current zoning's here, but their current potential is here. And every time you're able to get something rezoned or upgraded in a zoning map, it's a windfall for you. There's a few other areas that industrial properties, petroleum storage, mining. If we lived on a coast, we could talk about port facilities, and then airports and things like that. But every piece of property has a great use for it, and it's already in the master plan. The city is planning decades in advance for where they think the growth is going. They just rely on the private sector to go in and actually make it happen, make it come to fruition.